Okay, so you might wonder what on earth is happening. So, we made a mistake. Made a mistake, and now we're going to have to redo a whole section of the van. So, basically, what we wanted to do was create 2 beds in this section. So you've already seen, had one bed that went across here, and then we're going to have another bed that went on actuators up to here and then came down. So I'm going to move in this section, and what we discovered is that it was too short. So we're actually now going to extend these seats to here. I'm going to take out this kitchen one and basically make it in line with this, so it will come to about here. And that's now where our kitchen section is going to be, which also then means that we need to move this plug socket and also make sure that all of these wires are going to be long enough, because they're now going to be on a panel here. And then what that should do is extend the bed area, and also mean that when it comes to the top, we've got more length to play with as well. Okay, Mr. Ford, explanation please.
Before we educate, we must hydrate, Tracy. Good cup of tea, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, after conversations that we had, we've discovered that the bed above, my children are so tall.
They are so tall, and that's because of this fine specimen of a man here, in comparison to this very short person here. There we go. Like, yeah, I'm super short, Mark is super tall, and our children seem to be taking after him.
That was tallism.
That's
Yeah, so our children won't sleep long ways, and the bed frame that we were going to build would only be 140 centimetres, 1.4 metres, which is too short, because the average child in our house is over 1.
It was going to be, so hang on, right, it's 140 this way, and it was going to be 130 this way.
Yeah.
Whereas
So,
I originally thought it was 160, so I'm not quite sure how on earth I managed to mess up on those measurements. So what we've ended up doing is what, Mark?
What we've ended up doing, Tracy, is going to basically redesign the whole seating area. As you can see, it's been completely ripped out. And we're going to have, from the back doors through to the wall of the shower or bath, there's 150, which is 5 foot to 5 foot, just over 5 foot in length, which Nevaeh, the tallest, is. So we'll have plenty of length that way. And we're going to rebuild the kitchen, which is going to come out in line.
It's my
with
present to Mark, by the way. I can't ever say that I don't give anything to him.
Got to get some nuts. Not just any nuts, there's a whole nut.
Oh my god, so bad.
So yeah, we're going to come out, the kitchen's going to be cut back in line with the
Bathroom.
to give us that 5 foot in length.
5 foot 2.
5'2".
Okay, what else were we doing? We're changing the seating area. How?
I don't know, I haven't built it yet.
Okay, there's 2 different design ideas that we have. So beforehand, where we had the seating come up here, we just
The traditional table made the part of the bed.
yeah, so the table is actually this piece of wood here, which is holding up everything behind the bathroom, and that's the white side. So we had that in the middle. It meant that the table had to be exactly that size. So we have rethought that design and come up with what?
Well, we researched more, I thought. So we're going to go for either a pull out and drop down, or basically like a grill system is the best way to describe it.
Slats. Slats that go, you have to do it with your hands. I'm holding the camera. There you go.
Basically,
You
the
just,
seat up here has slats, and the seat here just interlocks. So you pull it out, which obviously then makes a nice bed frame system.
cool.
So slat system.
And we still need to create the shelving kind of areas here for all the clothes, which will go above all of this wonderful water,
Substance.
like boiler, etc, etc, etc.
I suppose I've got a tip for people,
Mm-hmm.
if that helps. So, as we are on a slope
Yep.
and a slope, so we can't use the level at all because it's like way out.
Hang on, I'm not going to see like that. So, there we go.
So, level will be there, like, whoop.
Yeah.
So it runs out quite a way. So for us to try and find any way of being able to measure, because nothing's straight, nothing is where it needs to be. So if you're trying to work out from the side here to come out, let's say you want to make the seat at like 2 foot, 24 inches in old money, just shy of 600 centimetres in new. To try and work out where that comes to,
Yeah.
you need like 9 pairs of hands. But what you can do, set this up, get your trusty assistant who's currently recording, set this square.
Do you want me to hold
level
something?
You'll set square level on the floor.
Yeah.
Ask them to hold it together like so. No, you just concentrate on recording.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is then you measure off. Say, look, this is a dad with several children, multitasking. So you measure off, make sure it's all nice set on the floor. You push it in until you hit that sort of like mark, and then all you do is you can just mark off the back edge where you've measured to. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll give you your 600 out down, but make sure that it's flat down, and that is obviously straight and not curved like a frisbee. And obviously make sure it's sat nice and flat on the floor.
And what you mean by
a rough?
Make sure that it's not straight curved like a frisbee is not how you're holding it, is that the piece of wood is actually
Boomerang,
straight.
yeah. So.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. I'm sure everyone
so
would have found that one a complete visual delight.
Yeah, so you always look for the wood. So you either have the wood.
Always look for the wood.
Always look for the wood. Look at the wood to ensure that it's straight and not curved.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure it's not bowed.
Yep.
And not curved. I think I can't remember, it's been a long time since I did my carpentry course. It's not cupped, like concave, or it's not bowed or bent or anything like that. So you always look down the cup. So look from the top edge and look the way down, and you'll see it as either straight, or you'll see like a slight deformity, or it might be twisted as well. And always check your timber before you buy it. Because there's nothing worse than trying to work with twisted, cupped or bent wood, because it's just not going to help at all.
No.
So yeah, always check it, make sure you got it, and also make sure you haven't got so many knots. And I mean, this is not too bad, but you'll have like so for example a knot right on the edge, which that's not too bad, but it could potentially like pop out like we have up here, where some of the knots have started to pop out because of the temperature difference and the shrinkage. And also most of the inside of houses, but you have to make sure that you got the equilibrium moisture content.
Oh.
There we go, I remember that bit. Is right, because obviously the moisture will affect the size of the wood and the timber and the twisting and all that type of stuff. So yeah, just be wary of that, because it might expand or contract.
Mark's top tips.
Yeah. Oh, I hate my stupid idea.
Why?
Are you recording?
Yes.
There was no warning at all.
Nope.
God damn it. So this little bright spark decided, rather than to move the gas pipes around the framework, because as we've discovered, it's definitely better to put this and all your services in before building the bench, because my God, does it make life a lot easier. Looking back at it now, I really don't understand why I didn't do it in the first place.
Right, you can leave that there, but you told me to wait before I gave you my idea.
Is that I've drilled the gas pipe through.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Right, because I think I have a solution for that. Right, keep that there and basically box this bit in like that. And then this bit here, where we've got from here to here, we'll access from this side, so we've still got storage there. And that bit is still all the, technically the garage storage that way. That way, you don't need to unscrew all of these bits, but we'll still make the step come from here. Yeah?
What?
I'm going to explain this to Mark again, we'll come back. Now Mark is going to try and work out where we need to create the floor. So I just wanted to go through some of the challenges that we've had, and also now that we've taken out the seating and redoing it, some of the changes that we're going to make, because already there's going to be certain things that will work better for us. So let me turn the camera around. So number one, the back doors weren't always closing properly. So we originally had the bedding, that's why this carpet's cut off like this, because the bed came out, or the seats and the bedding came out here, and then came around and matched the outer panel that we've got there. But because it's not, the door's not closing properly, we're now thinking of squaring this off. But I also don't want to lose any of the raised flooring or the storage underneath, so I'm just trying to work out what we do with that. And the second thing is, this is where we originally had the raised floor too, and we've decided to increase it by an additional 4 inches, roughly about 10 centimeters, to where the top of those are, and that would just give us a bit more room underneath here without compromising too much of the leg room that we have when we're sat down. So yeah, again, just thinking of the additional storage. So those are the two main changes, but my quandary is this section here of how I rectify that. I think I've got an idea, and I think don't know, I'm not sure that I really want that to be a sheer drop either side, but I'm not sure right now. Actually, yes I do. Right, okay, so I do know what we can do. So we can square this off. The raised floor is still going to be here, but then what I'll do is I'll create a section this side for netting to go in, so we can just put in little bits to make the use of that storage space. So that's how we can rectify that situation. So just with as with any decision that is made within the van, it has a knock-on effect and affects something else. So because we've decided to square off this end, that means we also need to square off this end, which then also means that we need to move the batteries over the breaker switch. So that's what Mark's going to crack on and do now. Okay, you're going to do another top tip. What was it?
Eyelets.
Yep.
Start them off with your fingers first. Obviously pre-drill the hole.
Yep.
Like yay. And then get the drill. Just a normal hooky eyelet. And your drill.
Captain Hook style.
Make sure it goes on the right way. Hook it through. want in.
Very cool. Okay, so here's the latest update. Mark has built up the additional frame and made it a little bit stronger with these sections here. Forget the fact that that one looks wonky, because once the ply has been put onto here, obviously that's going to be lifted up, and so then that will be all straight. So behind is now the ply floor. What size is that? 18 mil, did you say?
Yeah.
So that's an 18 mil ply floor that's going to go on the top of here. Welcome to the second day of trying to change the seats out in the bed area. So I left you last night with saying we had a couple of options. One, slats, move like that together. Two was to have the back and the seating that can then come out and move like that. Or we could go back to the design that we had before, which is exactly what we've chosen to do. So let me explain why. So unlike some other people's designs, we need to be able to get access to all of the electrics, but from this area, and we also need to be able to get access to this area, which holds the water pump and also the boiler, but this is also where we put in the shelf and have clothes and that type of thing. So both of them we need access to. We could access from here, but there's not really enough room. There's only about, what was it, 30 centimetres or something from the floor to the top of this. So that's a very narrow area to then have to try and get in and get to. So ideally we still need to be able to have the piano hinge and lift this up to get into here. So instead what we've done is we've widened these seats, and the same on the other side, and so the table in itself will be narrower than what we had before. And then on the other side, but I'll show you from here, but on the other side, under here, we're going to put some little hooks, some little L brackets. And basically those L brackets, like that, would just mean that the table can slide in underneath. When we don't want to use the table, that seems to be the best solution that we think that we can come up with, making sure that we've got easy access, because it's got to be accessed regularly, and also matches everything that we need to do. Now, of course, what that does mean is, because we're changing the seats, that means that I need to change the cushions, which is fine, because beforehand I bought a 4-inch mattress, foam mattress, which I cut up for the cushions. One, I didn't cut it particularly well, as you will see. I'll leave the video here. And two, it actually isn't thick enough. It's not supportive enough, so that I needed to change. And that's our seats finished. Well, up and ready. Middle section is also being cut down. That's actually here at the moment, so we can get back to sleeping in here. So what I've tried to do to just show you the difference is I've put this cushion behind this main one, so it overlaps only slightly, and that one I've had how it was before, so you can just see how much wider it is. So it's not a huge amount wider, but it makes a big difference in the comfortability of sitting. And then obviously you can see the difference in length. There's a gap each side. The same as if I push this one up, then that's how much wider this is. So all we've got left to do is, of course, we'll probably paint these. At some point we're going to finish off boxing on here. Obviously the front section, redo the carpet. I've still got carpet left over from the reel, so I'll put a new section on, and we'll have the pipe for the Traci Mum heater coming out here. We have put this one in. So that one's in. It's only loosely in, because obviously we still need to put the parlour board onto this one. So that's all done. And I'm just getting the van ready now to go and get some more LPG. So that's the end of this video. We are well chuffed with the extended seats. Of course, that was more work to be done, but it's much better this way now.